Chris with Lift Kits for Less, coming to you live 2016 SEMA. We're here in front of the JKS booth. We're going to go over and find out what's new for JKS. JKS being one of the premier suspension lines for all Jeep lines, TJs, YJs, and so on. Let's go and see what's going on.
Hey guys.
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good, and you?
Good to see you.
Good, good.
Hey, we're really excited to hear what JSpec has going on for 2017, what your advantages are, why you're killing it, why the competition's trying to keep up with you. If you have a moment, we'd love to hear what's going on.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for 2017, we're looking at bolt-on 2.5-inch diameter coilovers. All right, so again, this is bolt-on. We're gonna take out the shock tower. We're gonna bolt in the coilover, top and bottom, about 8 bolts, does the whole thing. Then we got a true dual rate coilover in here, okay? Wow. And this is so important. You know, you got your lifted Jeep, you got your bumper, you got your winch on there. Hard to pick a perfect coil spring, so we're gonna go with a coilover based on your weight, okay? We can ride around on 100 pounds, 200 pounds, whatever it might be, get into that second rate when things get a little bumpy, and hey, we're off and running. We can even fine tune the ride height in here. Got DSC adjuster on the Fox 2.5 there.
Let me interrupt you for the layman out there, the layman guy.
Yeah.
So you throw like a 200-pound bumper on, you throw on another 150-pound winch, maybe you got a tire carrier in the front. So what you're saying is with this coilover, you're able to adjust the height in the front, so just because it'll start sagging, right, with all that additional weight.
Absolutely, and if you think about it, we're putting all that weight in front of the axle. So if it weighed 200 pounds, we might be putting 300 pounds of pressure on the springs. And once we've done that, now we can fine tune the ride quality and the ride height with these coil springs.
That's awesome. Hey, one more, and I know you guys are cutting edge with JKS, maybe one of the premier, maybe the premier line for off-roading for guys. Talk to me about all of the JSpec 2.5, 3-inch lift kits. They all come, correct me if I'm wrong, with a dual rate coil spring, and why that's important to the average guy that's a daily driver, but on weekends he wants to go wheel that thing. Why is that such an advantage for you guys?
Again, you don't want your Jeep riding like a lumber wagon. You know, you're sitting on this heavy rate coil spring holding up the whole Jeep. With a dual rate, we can kind of split the difference. We give you a little riding around town rate.
That's the top rate, is that right?
Yeah, it's gonna be your top rate. We'll ride around town nice, you know, when we get off-road, pick speed up, get into some big bumps, whoops, that second rate's gonna come in and really start soaking things up for you.
That's huge. I don't think people understand it. So if I'm doing 35 miles an hour down the road, I hit a big bump in the road, that's the second, the harsher ride. And it really feathers that out and gives you a nice smooth ride, is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's the JKS ride you're looking for. Another thing you can look at is the JKS Flex Connects for your sway bar links. Okay, again, we spent all this time and effort on springs.
That's right there, right? Oh, let's go over there.
So I'm just my boss is coming tomorrow.
So we spent all this time and effort on springs and shocks, only to put a solid link at the sway bar. All that gets transferred right up into the driver's seat. Now we've done a little bit of a shock absorber type spring here. We got 3 inches of travel in this, 1.5 inches up, 1.5 inches down. Fine tune your spring rates to your driving style. Gonna get more flex off-road, but the on-road benefits are incredible.
So cool. Hey, one last question. All of the JSpec full suspension systems, you mentioned, I think I spoke to you briefly yesterday about the TJ. You were saying something that's hard to find.
It really is. So our TJ kits come with a dual rate spring, just like our JK kits. That's something for you TJ owners out there that you just haven't had in the past. Now you can have it here through JKS. We can sell you just the springs or a full JSpec kit.
Well, that's cool. So you can buy just the springs, kind of a guy that wants to do it himself, build out his own kit, buy the springs. One more thing which I think is unique about JKS, and correct me if I'm wrong, all of the full JSpec suspension systems come with a Fox shock, some sort of Fox shock package, is that right?
Every JSpec suspension system either comes with or is optional available with a Fox 2.0 Adventure Series or 2.0 remote reservoir shock, absolutely.
So cool, so cool. And Fox obviously being one of the top shock manufacturers in the world. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Chris.
It's been awesome. Hey, get in here real quick. Guys, remember, here at Lift Kits for Less, you get more live content. We're coming to you all day live here at SEMA 2016. Lift Kits for Less, where you get more.